Some of you may have read news stories from these sources today. The Sun, The Guardian, The Daily Mail. It's almost unavoidable. You may think the mainstream media are there to give you the truth. They don't care at all about the truth. They just want your attention, because the longer they have your attention, the more money they can make. Do the mainstream media care about finding the truth? Do they care about following a code of conduct? Do they make sure that their actions are morally just, are truthful, honest? Or do they just care about finding a sensationalised story that gets your attention?
Oh, she's getting out now.
These are the big game hunters of the 21st century. With the right picture at the right time, netting thousands.
Come on, boys.
Their pursuit is relentless.
Amy, can I have a Big Mac, please?
There's a price on the head of every celebrity, and almost anything goes to get it. But are they selling out their morals for money?
She's got track marks all over her arm.
And is this any way to make a living?
Some of you may think that people that put themselves in the firing line are fair game. It's fair game for the media to harass them, follow them, smear them, lie about them, persecute them. But are their families fair game?
This was my oldest daughter. She was in her first year at primary school, and I unzipped her school bag in the evening, and among the usual letters from school and debris that every child generates, I found an envelope addressed to me and a journalist. Now, it's a journalist. The letter was from a journalist. I felt such a sense of invasion that my daughter's bag. It's very difficult to say how angry and how angry I felt that my 5-year-old daughter's school was no longer a place of, complete security from journalists.
Do the mainstream media care or spare a second in thought about the danger or the consequences of their stories upon the families of those people they write about?
I worked for the News of the World. It was the biggest selling English language publication in the world. Politicians bowed down before us and asked for our blessing. Margaret Thatcher, Tony Blair, and then right at the end you had Cameron. Got down on bended knees and please make me Prime Minister. And that gave us impunity to do anything.
So you sometimes feel like you've become the poster boy for tabloid sleaze.
Yeah, is that a bad thing? My job was basically to mock, ridicule and, if you like, destroy.
There's a difference between being hounded and, just going out and just being photographed now and again. Mate, they're in your face.
They loved being followed by the paparazzi. Why would I feel bad? Job well done.
News of the World and papers like that, they was absolutely ruthless.
Let's have a look at this headline by the Daily Mail once again. Fury of female police officer who was assaulted by Ant Middleton. Now the truth is, this has never happened. Ant Middleton has never assaulted a female police officer. Now look at the comments the public take from this deceiving headline. I think we'd rather not have a guy that assaulted a woman as mayor. And then let's look at Ant Middleton's response. Get your facts straight and look up the term. I didn't and would never lay a finger on a woman. This is one of the reasons I'm running to hold the media and journalists accountable for misinformation. Now, Ant Middleton now has to spend his time defending himself against something that's never happened because of the deceitful headline of the Daily Mail. And it's not just Ant Middleton. Let's look at Joe Rogan, when the media turned the guns on him because he dared to speak out against the forced vaccinations during COVID.
CNN is saying I'm taking horse dewormer.
Rogan telling his 13 million Instagram followers that he was treated with several drugs, and he included ivermectin on the list, a drug used for livestock.
Rogan said the word ivermectin. Yes, that's the deworming medicine made to kill parasites in farm animals.
Why would they lie and say that's horse dewormer?
So things are clearly bad, but they're being made even worse by people who have refused to take the vaccine and instead are swallowing horse paste.
Wait a second. He said that he got better because he ate cattle dewormer.
They must know that that's a lie.
You have individuals like Joe Rogan, for example, who don't want to take an experimental vaccine but will take horse dewormer.
Ivermectin is often used to deworm livestock.
Ivermectin apparently given to deworm animals.
It's a lie on a news network, and it's a lie that's a willing... That's a lie that they're conscious of. This is not a mistake.
Yeah.
They're unfavorably framing it as veterinary medicine. They keep saying I'm taking horse dewormer. I literally got it from a doctor. Does it bother you that the news network you work for out and out lied? Just outright lied about me taking horse dewormer.
They shouldn't have said that.
Why did they do that?
I don't know.
Now, if you have enough money, you can challenge the lies and the persecution that the media aim at you. Let's look at J.K. Rowling when she won court cases against, once again, the Daily Mail for their lies that they told about her, but also their illegal, invasive photos they took of her children. So what you've seen is they don't care what they do. They will attack anyone in any way to get their headline story.
Ultimately, we were kids that had been thrown into a lion's pit. So I was in Russia having some food. In come these really attractive Russians that was slightly odd. Why were they there?
What's wrong with a honey trap? Did it all the time. Go shag him, 10 grand tomorrow morning when you tell me about it. I didn't do that. But it's very likely that we might have done something like that.
I do remember the headline, 5-star Richie undid my skirt with his teeth. Almost like a porn story.
The fact that Richie is in a relationship with someone as hot as Billie Piper and then he goes to a bar and cheats on her, that makes it a much better story.
Now, if they're willing to do that and take those tactics against young boys who are singing songs, what sort of tactics do you think they're going to use against someone like me? Someone who's confronted the establishment and the media about their failures and their lies. There's only one journalist in this room, John, and it's not you, okay?
Oh, really? Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
You're a disgrace. And in fact, anyone who's been taken down by Panorama, anyone has to challenge now, because there is no integrity in any of the work you've done. You are a liar, you're a fraud, you're a racist, you're a homophobe, all in one interview.
This is a lie.
I've literally humiliated them on a global scale. What sort of target do you think they're going to put on me?
I'm here, this gentleman here, I caught him with a long lens camera in the bushes taking photographs of me. I was in my car with people, there's his camera, look, he legged it, he's caught here. Journalists, eh? Journalists. Yeah.
So I just spoke to the policeman.
Yep.
He said that he's going to be down here. I don't know. It's not an emergency, so they're going to come down here.
Yep.
When they can.
I knew, growing up in Luton, that attempting to discuss the issues which had been hidden would put me in the firing line. But I had no idea the relentless campaign of hate and smears and lies that I would face from the mainstream media for discussing these topics. There are 100 verses in this...
Yes or no? Okay. Are you Islamophobic?
There's no such word as Islamophobia. Phobia is an irrational fear. It's not irrational to fear these things. Now, if I hold this book up and say, there will never be peace on this earth so long as we have this book, it's a violent and cursed book. Can I tell you who said that? Can I tell you who said that? Sir William Gladstone said that.
You wouldn't do that with...
Sir William Gladstone said that.
Would you do that with the Bible? Show some respect.
Show some respect.
Show some respect.
Have you read this book?
For people.
Have you read this book?
There are over a billion people.
There are 100 verses in this book that incite violence and murder against us.
Show some damn respect for people's religious beliefs, right?
I should show some respect for a book that incites murder against me and
put it down.
And calls me an animal. No, I won't put it down. In a free democratic society, you should be free to speak about these issues without a total campaign of threats of violence, intimidation, physical violence, lies, smears, relentlessly targeting not just me, but my loved ones. Over the last 15 years, I've not been judged on what I've said. I've been judged on what the media say I've said. It may be a surprise to many of you if you've only read the headlines from the mainstream media. I've never even been arrested or questioned under any hate crime legislation, racism, extremism, or anything. Can you, as a journalist from Mail Online, please just justify how I'm far right? What part of my views?
Your views? Well, you've expressed views against Islam and extremism.
And that makes me far right?
Well, a lot of people's eyes. And it's not just that, it's your association with people that go to these kind of rallies.
Okay, so...
But look, that's it,
no,
Tommy.
hold on.
I've got to go, Tommy.
No.
I've given you enough.
You haven't given me enough.
No, it's the people that the people that go to these sort of rallies.
Oh, so a football stadium has a few hooligans. Does that make the owners of the football stadium hooligans?
No, it doesn't.
No, so what are you talking about?
Look, I don't really want to say anything else, Tommy.
Oh, you don't. Oh, you don't. But you're a journalist.
Yes, I am.
Oh, you're not. So let's have a conversation. Let's sit down now and let's have an interview.
I'll speak to my news desk.
No, don't speak to your news desk.
I'll come and speak to you. I don't really want to do it because I don't want to.
Why not? Because you've got no answers. Your paper ran a big headline saying I was a racist. Can you back that up? Can you explain that?
I don't want to say anything.
No, come on, just explain how I'm a racist.
No. You have to realise that you've had this tag.
By you.
By the media.
Yeah, by the media, yes.
Right, but
you are the media. Right. The consequences for a celebrity under attack by the mainstream media may end up resulting in their divorce or the public changing their opinion on that individual. Whereas the consequences for someone like myself, who spoke about the issues I have, they're far more severe.
Now, 6 Islamic extremists have pleaded guilty to plotting a terrorist attack on an English Defence League rally last year.
Described as homegrown extremists, they are self-radicalised individuals who never, as far as the authorities know, travelled abroad for terrorist training, but still they were very deadly in their intent.
Listen to my word carefully, Tommy. I'm gonna cut your neck off. I know you idiot, crappy attention fans, you know.
Watch what I fucking do to you, you little fucking white bastard. You little pork eating cunt. You fucking watch, mate.
Yeah?
Yeah, 100%.
And I bet you think I'm racist, don't you?
But you know what it is, Tommy? You are fucking racist. That's what I'm saying to you.
And you just call me a white pork eating cunt.
The car pulled up. Thought it was my boy coming to see me. Got the door and 4 Asians in the car. Asked me, where's Tommy? Where is he? Where's Tommy? Told him.
We were given information from the Met last night.
Yeah.
So we've crimed 2. One of threats against you.
I'm sorry you had to leave your family home at yesterday evening.
Yeah.
This morning it featured on our management meeting this morning. This job came up, and they're trying to apply the right amount of risk to it. Does that make sense?
These people who are threatening me, there's 5 different videos. They're not just making tweets, which Sadiq Khan, don't you have 800 officers working on hate speech tweets and messages? Well, this is in your London. I know where one of these people live. I went and found him last time, mentally disturbed. You know, whenever there's a terrorist attack and you say someone mentally disturbed, well, this jihadi sympathiser, this man who was radicalised, as he says, by Ali Dawah, he's making phone calls saying he's going to slash my throat whilst on the phone to Ali Dawah.
Basically to inform that a group call themselves Antifa UK.
Yeah.
Heard of them?
Yeah.
To be honest, I kind of haven't. And Antifa Dundee, it basically says they're planning to hurt or possibly kill Tommy Robinson because they know where he lives and want to silence him. They've got their hands on, it says they've got hands on some AK-47s, make petrol bombs and stuff. And allegedly said they're going to put these petrol bombs through your door when he sleeps.
4 o'clock in the morning. Well, it's nearly 4 o'clock in the morning. And the police have just been round. And Al-Shabaab, you know Al-Shabaab? And apparently they've released a new terror video. And I'm on it. This is what they've given me. Which says, we are in receipt of the following information which suggests your personal safety is now in danger. Although Bedfordshire Police will take what steps it can to minimise the risk, the police cannot protect you from this threat on a day-to-day, hour-by-hour basis. All I'm thinking about is my wife and what she's going to say to this.
What do you think she's going to say?
She's going to be terrified. She's just not going to be happy. Understandable, you know what I mean?
worried for the safety of the kids and the family.
There was an array of weapons in the boot. That included 2 sawn-off shotguns, samurai swords, machetes, an array of knives, an improvised explosive device that was made up of one of these big pyrotechnic type fireworks that you get at professional displays, and that had been packed full of gunpowder and 450 odd pieces of shrapnel, including nails.
The police have been contacting me to meet them. The reason they need to meet me, but they don't just need to meet me, you see, they need to meet my wife because they need to give us Osmond warnings. Another 2 Osmond warnings.
I've had 12, between me and my family, 12 government official Osmond warnings. An Osmond warning is a warning given when police or government have intelligence of serious threat and plans to end life. Some people who disagree with my politics or feed off the mainstream media lies about me may think I deserve to be threatened or physically attacked. But what about my innocent family?
You'll get your fucking kids, yeah? I'll tell you that, I promise you that. I'm gonna drop your kids on a list then, alright? So that you fucking feel, you motherfucker.
You're leaving me now to be in imminent danger by Muslim gangs that are driving around looking for my property.
As a person, if you feel in danger, then you can move or go somewhere else.
Excuse me, can I just say something? I have just moved. I've been here 3 days and I've had people turning up at my house. So please do not sit there and tell me I'm an adult and I can make the decision to move house again. I've moved house 8 times in the last 8 years.
I can't help that, and I'm not responsible.
No, but you can't help that, but you're refusing to help that.
And on that note, see, on that happy note, oh, by the way, Tommy, I am going to mince your kids, mate.
For time purposes, that's just a little snippet of what we as a family face. Constantly on guard, especially when I'm in the UK. But there's one time that I get to enjoy and relax with my family, and that's when we're away on holiday. As the country's burning, and many people are wanting to know why, where's the anger coming from? In step the Daily Mail.
You just want to prick that little bubble and just make them the scapegoat for everything.
Now this headline has consequences. Is there any truth in this headline? Was I instigating riots? How far did this story go? Well, just off the Daily Mail's Twitter feed, it was viewed by 14 million people. And once it went in the Daily Mail with this false headline, it went in the Independent, the Guardian, the Mirror, CNN. It went global, everywhere. Who was causing the riots? Why were people rioting? Because of Tommy Robinson.
We've heard, Julie, from a lot of the far-right figures, is that these protests that we've been seeing over the last week are not about extremists, they're about ordinary people just having their say. Here's an example, and it's not the only one, from the man known as Tommy Robinson yesterday, a post accusing Keir Starmer of trying to use legitimate concerns to tarnish millions of people as far-right thugs.
And a lot of this is being instigated online, and probably the most influential instigator for all is Tommy Robinson, real name Stephen Yaxley Lennon, a really sinister and ludicrous figure, frankly, who is currently away in Cyprus hiding, tweeting inflammatory material online.
But it must be very upsetting for the families and for the community of Southport, which really came together in the aftermath of it, for this to be hijacked by people lying on sunbeds in Cyprus, directing the violence. And
you're referring to some of the images on the front page
based on lies, based on a completely inaccurate account of what happened in Southport.
The English Defence Lead, I mean, give me their phone number, give me their email. I mean, the fellow who's associated with most is on a sunbed in Cyprus.
Tommy Robinson.
He hates Europe, but there he is enjoying the European sunshine and stirring up poison and hate in this country.
Now, was there any truth in the headline? Was there any truth in this story? Let's see what I was actually saying. Again, not what they say I was saying. Let's have a look what I was saying during this time of violence. Now, I'd be saying to anyone that I know there's a protest tonight in London, lads, you've got to remain calm. But again, I'll just reiterate, again, a total appeal for calm. Just an appeal for calm, man. Anyone going to London tonight? There's protests down the street outside Parliament for Prime Minister's questions, I believe. Try and bring the numbers, bring the noise, but don't bring any violence, man. Peace, love, our country is in the gutter. We ain't going to win it back by throwing a few rocks at coppers. Galvanise the country. That's what we need to do. Unite people. My message to people going out is be careful. Yeah, the level of violence, it won't work. Anyway, stay safe. Stop the violence, man. And to the men committing the violence, lads, those individual police officers who are coming out doing a difficult enough job have got families at home. They're ordinary people, okay? We had 100,000 people on the streets of London in a peaceful resistance. That 100,000 will become 250,000. 250 will become 500,000. A peaceful revolution is brewing in Great Britain. A peaceful revolution. And to the lads taken to the streets, in the towns and cities today, these young boys need leadership. Take their balaclavas off. Take their masks off. They're going to get years in prison. Okay, it's not helping the cause. So lads, in every city across this country, control your boys, man. Control them, direct them. A peaceful resistance is growing. I'm watching what's happening, and to the people who are saying I'm glorifying it, no, I'm not. I've appealed for calm the whole way. What was the motive of the Daily Mail in running this headline story? Again, was it to tell you the truth? Or was it to put a target on me? To blame me? And what are the consequences of putting that target on me? I'm used to their lies. I'm used to their smears. But this time, they've done this for a decade. But this time, this was a totally different ballgame. They gave the location of where we were. Remember, they followed me in their story. I'm in the gym with my daughter.
The one in the blue took photos of me and Katie in the pool, but we turned our heads when we realised. Then he started filming the beds that you're all on.
They're following and taking pictures of my innocent family members who face threats of violence and death, rape, murder, all sorts. They gave the location and they published images of innocent people that were there with me. They didn't have to do that to run this story. If this was just about running a story, they didn't have to give the location. What were the consequences the next day after this story broke globally? Not just in the Daily Mail, because once they run it, it went global. Every single newspaper in the entire country run this as headlines, breaking news. They put a target on me and told you, the public, they lied that I was instigating the riots and the violence on the streets of the UK. Now the next day, this was only the second day of my family holiday with 4 other families, but the next day, groups of men began turning up at the hotel. Threats against the hotel. The hotel manager come to see me, and then the owner turned up and begged me to hide in my room because they were scared about the threat of violence to the people in the hotel. And that's what I had to do. All of this could have been avoided if the Daily Mail just didn't give away the location. So why did they give away the location? If they didn't publish images of innocent family members, this is the reason I was frustrated. This isn't the first time. This is continued from the Daily Mail. I can rewind to my last holiday with my family, where again, they've done exactly the same. That's why you're here harassing my family.
No, I haven't harassed your family.
Yes, you have. You've come here taking pictures of my wife and children.
Taken your pictures.
You've come here and endangering my family's life.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
No, I haven't.
You've come all the way out here to disrupt my family's holiday. I haven't. Yes, you have. You've come out here so you can take photos and endanger my family.
No, it's not endangering your family.
Yes, it is. Now, I spoke to the Daily Mail editor when they'd done this in 2018, and he agreed to not share images of my children or my family. In 2024, they knew exactly what they were doing. The woman that you've been in there photographing, my wife. I haven't been photographing. They gave her a paper to say there's intel for acid attacks on her. They also visited my mum. You've also been knocking at my mum's door.
I haven't.
No, your paper has.
I don't know.
I
don't know about that. I can't tell you that.
No, you have. You have. How would you like it? I've now got a picture of you.
I know you have. Yeah,
Shall I find you and your family? Shall I? Shall I come with a camera? You got kids?
I have got a kid, yeah.
Shall I come with a camera to where you are? Because I will find out who you are after this video, you know that.
Yeah.
Shall I come outside your child's school? Shall I do that? Would that be fair? Would it be fair if your wife, would it be fair if I find you and your wife laying on a holiday, trying to have a holiday and relax? Would it be fair for me to turn up with a camera? Tell me, just answer me the question, would it? But I again question them about whether it would be fair for me to do that to them. All I done after years of these lies and these smears, and I did it this time because they've now endangered my children.
Hey, Tommy Robinson, hey, you wanna fucking play rough, hey? Okay, come on. You wanna play rough? I'll blow you away, you fucking cockroach. Idiot, we're coming to fucking blow you away, you motherfuckers.
Tommy Robinson, I got a message for you, you little fucking cunt, yeah? Call me Twisted Cheese, I'm a fucking pirate from Somalia. And I'm in an area called Swarbrook. And you running your mouth saying we're gonna attack the mosque, any Muslim guys, we're gonna chill, chop them. No, mate, we're gonna defend ourselves. You understand, Tommy Robinson? We got pirates in every corner, Muslims in every corner. Takbir!
Allahu Akbar!
Takbir!
Allahu Akbar!
Tommy Robinson, listen, us Muslims, we live only to die. L-O-T-D. You get me? We wanna die. We wanna go to our Lord. You understand? We're running for death. Bow, bow, bow.
And after the fake news headlines of the Daily Mail, the threats weren't just coming in against me and my children. Police went to my mother and father's house, who are pensioners, and gave them an Osman warning that there are now threats and dangers to their life. These are all the consequences of that fake news story. My children are no longer infants, so when stories and lies are spread across the internet and people react to them, my children are now of the age where they're reading them. They're seeing the consequences themselves. Here's a message from my daughter to her mother the day after this headline story.
Mum, I can't sleep. I'm really worried and upset. I've been seeing loads of videos of people saying they're going to kill Dad's whole family and raping us, and even about Nan. I hate it so much. You don't understand how worried and upset this stuff gets me.
Hear me out, yeah? Anybody who's on holiday, yeah, and ever bumps into Tommy, bro, just do him, bro. Just do him. I'll make a video and you'll be famous. Alright, listen, where's he gone? Because I swear to God, yeah, I don't mind booking a flight to where he's gone, you know. And do you lot want to know something mad? Do you lot want to know something crazy? Yeah? He's gone on holiday in Cyprus. Yeah, I'm surprised what's happened to him.
So during the 2 days when I was on holiday with my children and they're facing threats and violence and all this is happening, I contact the Daily Mail journalists. I let them know that I plan to do a follow-up story where I bring a camera and I question them and I video them. The Daily Mail, who sent journalists to the hotel where I was with my children, photographed my family and gave away their location. So yesterday, 3 of their addresses, I got pictures of all of them, okay? And I've contacted them. You need to contact me, editor, because if not, I am going to come, yeah? I don't want to. I've made this clear. I don't think that's right. I don't think it's morally right, and what you've done is totally wrong. You have destroyed a family holiday when I was with my children. So let's get the record straight. I didn't flee the country because of riots. I'd left the country before any riots. I held 100,000 people strong peaceful protests. Riots kicked off in Liverpool that were nothing to do with me. Every one of my videos that I've done so far have clearly called for peace and calm. You're just lying. You're trying to throw it on my lap, so are the government. But what you've done with my children, you upset their holiday, you ruined their holiday, okay? Now you're all saying I fled Cyprus, okay? Yeah, you've broke up my family holiday. So I want to ask you the question. You come where my children were and you give their location. Is it, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Is it fair that I do that to you? See, I'm not a morally bankrupt wanker. You know I've got images of everyone in your family. You know I know the locations of where you are. Yeah? I'm asking you, is it fair for me to do that? If the answer's no, then stick to a rule book, lads, yeah? You know when I've done my investigation into a 5-part series of Muslim rapists, and I had 3 girls saying they're rapists, and I went to find those men. Do you know how many times we had surveillance on them there with their kids, or their missus, or their mum, and we didn't approach them? And do you know how much that costs when you've got a surveillance team, security team? Do you know we put that, left it? Nope, he's with the family. Nope, kids are there. Nope. Unfortunately, yeah? Because it's nothing to do with those innocent members of the family. Certainly not to be recorded or to leave everlasting damage in their minds when you're confronting people, to ask them questions. Now, you haven't thought about that with my kids, yeah? Who have been upset for days now, who you've ruined their whole event. Maybe you think this is the first time the Daily Mail have done this. The first time they've took part or participated in something that could possibly endanger my family. Not me, but my family. Well, no, remember this guy?
Tommy, I am going to mince your kids, mate.
When he attended my family's home to live stream their address to the public, who attended that property with him? That's right, the Daily Mail went with an extremist to live stream my family's home and put them in imminent danger. Now, out of everything you've seen, I now face prosecution. I have been charged criminally. I face 10 years in prison for saying I want to take my camera and ask these journalists a few questions. The evidence used to prosecute me is me telling them I'm going to come knock on your door with a camera and ask you questions. Bearing in mind everything you've seen. You've seen the way they behave. You've seen the way they act. I made it very clear to those journalists and their families, I will not share images of you, the families, the innocent families, and I will never give away their location. Because I know that that's not right. And I've made it clear time and time again that I wouldn't do that. But yet, apparently, out of all of this story that you've seen, the victims in this, it's not my family, it's not me, we're not the victims. The victims are the journalists who travelled on my family holiday, took pictures of my family and gave away their location. They're now the victims and I'm now the perpetrator. I face 10 years in prison. There is no free speech and there is no free press. When they want to target someone who upsets them, embarrasses them and exposes them, they then use the weapons of a totalitarian state, the media or the judiciary or the police. They all come together and now I will have to fight over the next 12 to 18 months through the courts in this country at the cost of tens of thousands of pounds to stay free. I face prison for attempting to ask journalists some questions. 2025, Great Britain. As the lawfare continues, unfortunately, once again, I need your support. To be able to fight this will go into the cost of tens of thousands of pounds. The process is the punishment. If you can stand with me in this battle, please go to fightthemail.com. Thank you very much.